Number one digital payment company. We are working with merchants across all lines. We work with approximately 2,000 top merchants of India. We're clocking a GMV of around 15,000 crore every month. The power of PayU is any merchant can go online within 5 minutes with us. It's that simple at this point of time. And yeah, PayU is hiring for PM. So if anybody is looking out there, we have my manager there, Mr. Ravindra. You can get in touch with him definitely. PayU. So the other joint partner here is the product folks. I'm not sure how many of you are aware of it. Product folks is a product-driven community of professionals, aspiring PMs, or who were PMs earlier in their life. And we are doing some crazy stuff out there in the context of helping people out. We have two products already in line. One is an APM program that we run, which is called NCR, where you, if you are an aspiring PM, can join that program, and we assure you getting in touch with the right company through a training and development program. The other product that we have is Learn PM with Me. It's a full curated list of all the resources that an ideal PM or a product professional should end up reading. And so that's about product, folks. You can follow us on Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, across. We do some very interesting stuff out there. And third, associate partners, Shivani, can we have you? Yeah. So the circle, they're very sweet people. They give the location very easily, so you know who to contact for your future events. And thanks a lot, Shivani and Nemo. Where is Nemo? It's very difficult to pronounce her name, so we call her Nemo. And yeah, the circle is pretty much on the similar lines of TPF, which is create, collaborate, and connect. Yeah. So they're doing some crazy stuff there. 100 seats there. Yeah. So the circle, if you have any sort of co-working requirements, do get in touch with them. Without further ado, the topic is pretty much on the lines of technology for PMs. So I had a very hard time getting into the PM space. I think my ratio would have been 1:200 of getting an interview call. And at that time, I think my biggest weakness at that point of time, because I never coded, so there was always this thing in my mind that I'm weak in technology and good with business and things like that. And the content majorly aims to touch what sort of technology power should a PM possess, or what sort of focus areas for a PM should be in context of technology, so that it helps them probably excel within their role and probably get to a role which they are aspiring for, right? So we have Sourabh first as our first speaker. Sourabh is currently a product head at Mozark. Before that he was with Airtel, and before that he was with Tata, so a lot of companies. He's going to introduce himself definitely. So we have Sourabh.
Thanks a lot. First things first, product management is an interdisciplinary field, and we really do not have any B schools or any tech schools really teaching it as a formal program. So kudos to programs like EPF to take it up as a means to cross pollinate this knowledge. And this is a great forum for all of us to learn from each other. Can't this is better? Yeah. Okay. Fine. So great initiative TPF, and hope to stay connected on this. So just as a first introductory, I just want to know who the audience is. So very basic question: are there people here who are product managers but has never coded or even not done engineering? Okay, that's nice. Quite a few. So as an introduction, I am an engineer. I did my BTech from IIT Kharagpur in 2009, but I have never unfortunately worked as a coder. But as circumstances have it, I work in deep tech startup now, and I've always been in cloud and tech startup space, right? So I'm going to share some of the experiences that I had in dealing with the development community, engineering community, and what has worked for me so far, right? So first things first, like what makes a great product manager, right? So according to many of the research, three things. Number one, it's your core competency, right? How you can strategize a product, how you can distill the business needs, create some sort of roadmap, manage sprints, right? Manage the engineering. So all of this is your core competence, right? The second very important aspect of being a great product manager is your emotional quotient, and that is something to do with your leadership skill, how you manage with your team, how you manage with your stakeholders, can be your founders, can be your engineering team, all those sort of things, right? And the third most important aspect is, which people say, is the company fit, right? So depends a lot on where your what kind of background and what kind of mindset you come from. Do you fit more into a B2C company? Do you fit more into a B2B company? Mature product company, startup? Because the role clearly differs from each of the. So there is no one fit all for any kind of product role, right? It differs a lot from company to company and kind of maturity you're in. So that brings me to my first point. So in terms of product maturity life cycle, right? The focus of a product manager is very, very different, and hence your interaction with your peers and these other stakeholders are also very, very different, right? So do I? Okay, I probably. Yeah, no, but that's fine. So takes me to the first point, which is like at the introduction phase, right? Which is the ideation phase, your product market fit, the MVP stage, right? The whole focus of a product manager is to adopt rapidly to what the feedback is, what the customer is saying about the product, what the market is seeing about the product, right? So typically, what kind of problems right now I'm working in a very early stage product. So what kind of problems do product managers deal with? So things like assessing the market needs. Is there a strategy fit with the market needs? Conceptualizing and redesigning, maybe even re-architecting, validating your product feedback. Right? So this typically leads to behavior, right? Like frequently change of priority. Need for a lot of tech R&D, because you may be working in a field which does not have a solution in hand, and not a solution comes from either academia or comes from a first principle problem solving, right? And maybe even re-architecture, because you start with something, you create a tech stack, and suddenly realize that this is not addressing some part of the use case, right? So even re-architecture might be a problem. This often leads to some sort of conflict with the engineering team, because while engineers are great problem solvers, they help you think through a solution. They will find out loopholes in the requirement set that you have created. But some of the things that they're not very good at is dealing with the whole ambiguity, right? Constant shifting of priorities, and they also do not really appreciate if the product manager is not from a great technical background and cannot explain some of the needs in technology terms which they clearly understand, right? So what could be done to overcome this, right? So this is where the first part of what I was saying is the whole EQ bit of things on what can you do in terms of tech leadership to overcome these challenges. So these are some of the few pointers, right? And this is what I have seen as some of the effective things to help manage a tech team. Number one is remove barriers, right? Do not have artificial barriers as a product team, and there is a separate engineering team led by engineering managers, right? When you create a product organization, right, it is very important to make everybody believe that this is a product engineering organization. Just keep in mind that ultimately when your product hits the market, the customers do not care anything about your internal processes, how you manage your sprints, how you manage your work groups, none of that, right? What matters in the market is your product features, the stability of the product, and the value proposition it solves, right? So just be very sure that you communicate this very, very clearly with your team. There are some minor things which really matter is sit together with your team if that's possible. In some cases that's not possible. For example, in my case, my engineering setup is based out of 2 places, one in Bangalore, and make sure I travel there at least once a month, if not more. It really helps sitting together in one place and solving the problems together, right? Things like in weekly or daily calls, right? Make sure that you are having a video call rather than just an audio call. Showing your face really matters. Those are some of the softer things which I feel really works when you're dealing with engineers. Second thing is to do with communication, right? One of the things that I have noticed is communicating the true North Star of your product. Like, these are the KPIs that I want to achieve, rather than just program managing that this is a deliverable in this sprint, this is a task that you need to get out within this month. Very clearly and explicitly linking each task and subtask to the larger overall goals and the strategy is very, very important to effective management. Take decisions very, very quickly, even if that means changing decisions later on, but try and unblock the engineering team from being stuck because of indecisiveness. So that is one of the worst things that you can do as a product leader. Unblock the team and have self-discipline and set examples. So if you're expecting the engineering team to deliver things on time, you also need to have the discipline of setting your requirements and getting your requirements out, getting your mock-ups out in time, right? So those really influence. Third thing is common sense, but let me still reiterate it. Engineers can be great problem solvers, but they can also sniff out BS very, very quickly, right? So try in your communication with the engineering team, try to have as less of MBA jargons as possible. Your job is to distill ambiguity to clear tasks, right? Communicate in terms of what is deliverable, what is the task that you need to do. But having said that, do not treat the engineering team as order takers. Treat them as co-problem solvers, right? So the problems which you're not very sure about, try and pose that as a question and try and seek solutions from them. You will be amazed what kind of creative solutions comes up. The fourth thing is, which is again speaking from very personal experience, do not shy away from engaging with academia. Many of us feel that the people who work in startups and several product companies of large organizations, we work in a very agile way, we are very fast in terms of delivery, and hence probably there is a misfit in terms of dealing with academia, but you will be surprised how things have recently changed, even in India. So in US, there has always been a very strong collaboration between the academia and the startups. But even in India, there is all the leading institutions are changing the KPIs through which the professors and the academicians and the PhD students are evaluated. There is a huge weightage nowadays given to people who do industry collaboration, to people who actually conceptualize and take this or monetize some of these research topics, right? So there is a huge incentive from their side to collaborate with us, and especially if you are working in a tech startup, it makes a whole lot of sense to find out people or PhD students whose research topic is close to your area. Box the conversation, that's very important because you do not want them to go on a completely tangential route. But once you can box the conversation, it makes a whole lot of sense to engage with academia. And last point here is motivate. I can't stress on this enough, and hence the 3 stars. So motivate is not only praise, right? Praise is something that you will obviously do to people who have done a good work. But motivate also means things like sharing information regularly. Some of the research, you do not want engineers to do research while they are on a sprint, right? While they are writing code. But some of the R&D that you and your engineering manager might be doing, or maybe through collaboration you are finding out, right? Proactively share those information back to the engineering team. tell them what is the plan going ahead, what are the kind of roadmap, what are the tech stack you're looking at, what benefits you will bring. Get to know them personally, that's also important. And always explain the why, right? Can't stress on this enough. So this is a whole lot of thing about the early stage companies now coming to a more mature company, right? So things really change when the maturity of the product changes. So when you're in a more towards after you have crossed the growth stage, you have reached some sort of a scale, your priorities changes, right? So the focus now is on customer satisfaction and delight, increasing engagement, and hence also the focus of your interaction with the tech team changes. So what often happens at the stages in the early stage, the product often drives engineering because you are setting the strategy, you are setting the requirements, you are starting from a whiteboard, right? People look at you for leadership, people look at you for clarity, but at this stage when the product has reached some sort of scale and maturity, tech often takes over. And this is true, very true for especially for tech platforms, right? The SaaS platforms, cloud platforms. PMs often play a role of being the interface with the market, validating some of the research and bringing back those requirements. They try to fill in the loop, but the engineering managers and the engineers kind of take a lead here. This stage has its pros and cons. Because you're letting engineers take a lead here, so this sometimes leads to some kind of innovation or some kind of product pivot which you haven't thought of, right? Interacting with customers, because what you can get from customer interviews, which customer can say themselves, right? But there are some needs which even the customers would not be able to express, and you can only get it out of research or people trying on new things. So this is a pro, but cons is sometimes this research can go on a tangent, may not lead to monetization, may not lead to something that you want to do with the product. So what do you do to manage the engineering team at this stage? So one of the things that you really want to do at this stage is to make this relationship from engineering led to more like engineering collaboration, where things like you are taking the engineers back for customer interviews, you are taking them to customer researches. At the same time, engineers are involving you in the stand-ups that you have, they are involving you in the R&D that you are doing, right? So how can you achieve this? So you have to again communicate your North Star, which is customer satisfaction and retention. In all your reviews, you need to kind of drill down on the KPIs that you are tracking very, very clearly. So here at this stage, KPIs could be things like retention rate, conversion rates, customer loyalty, and those kind of things, right? And what you expect out of engineering at this stage is KPIs like uptime, quality of user experience, managing scale and spikes, and reducing cost, right? And one of the ways of driving this collaboration is to make some of the things that are listed in the top, at the right column, right, as part of your reviews, right? For example, let me drill down into user experience. Now, I can't stress enough, user experience is extremely important for your app success, right? And this works across any category of app. The example on the screen right now is for a video streaming app, and there is enough research which says that things like your engagement changes with some of your quality of experience KPIs, like how much buffer it has, what time it took for the app to load, what time it took for the place to start. And one of the remarkable things out of this is like about 70% of users, irrespective of what the QE is, always blame it on the app and never on the network. So the perception actually transfers to the app. So even if things like the network or the device is out of control for you, the onus really is on the app providers to fix it, right? And to help improve for the given condition that you have. even after you have actually realized that quality of experience is very, very important, in our observation, what we have seen is it really differs from platform to platform. So if you look at it, like this is another example from some of the apps that we have observed. The quality of experience really differs from platform to platform, right? And one of your key interactions with the engineering team at this stage or at this maturity, if you're like managing if you're a product manager in one of these companies, is to maybe task them to achieve a better quality of experience, right? Whatever initiatives, whatever tech platform, whatever architecture changes that they are doing, right, should ultimately lead to improvement in one or all of these, right? So just be very clear in your communication requirement, and I think your interactions will improve. So I'll now kind of go a bit into some of the tech initiatives which you can, start with your engineering team for a mature company to help improve your QE agenda. One of the things is the whole API performance. So API acceleration over internet, caching of APIs, load testing of APIs so that they can manage spikes and increase in demand. Things like optimizing the client for any kind of condition. So what we have seen is that some of the better apps, they customize the content or even the app layout depending on what kind of network conditions you are facing, right? So, but again, an observation, about 70% of the apps fail to do so because their technology is not adapted to do all of these, right? Some of them do not use a standard user agent because of which the backend is not able to process the content which it needs to customize for the device or the network condition. Preloading of content could be another important tips at this stage. So the food point is also very important. So typically what happens is, in a very mature app, right, you tend to cram your app in with a whole lot of third-party SDKs, your analytics SDK, the crash SDK, the ad integrations and all of this. While some of this is important for monetization, this has nothing to do with user experience. And often there is a trade-off between the two, right? So you need to have a close eye on this and maybe adapt. If user experience is really important, then you might look at reducing as many SDKs as you can. So the fifth point is again making sure that your app is adapted to use the latest technology. Some of the things like IPv6, HTTP2. I'm not going into details of it, but these are really important to make sure that your app is responsive, your streaming performance is extremely good. So these are some of the things that you can take up with engineering. The sixth point is something that is really close to me at this point of time, and let me do a kind of plug into what I do currently. So there is, like I said, like SDKs can measure your app performance very, very accurately, right? But there are data services, and Mozark is one of the companies which does it. It measures quality of experience in a completely non-intrusive way, and hence it can benchmark quality of experience across peers. What it enables product managers to do is measure quality of experience, have a very clear idea that under different types of network conditions, what is the quality of experience and what is the quality experience of your peers. Not only that, we also help diagnose some of the technical things which will help you improve this and overcome this quality of experience challenges without having another SDK sitting within your app, right? So, given that if quality of experience is an agenda that you want to drive with your engineering team in a mature stage company, do look at something like a service like that, where you can benchmark your experience with your peers and use that as one of the key levers to drive a relationship with the engineering team effectively, right? So that is more or less it I have from my side. If there are questions, happy to take that.